another episode of Behind My Vinyl, where I talk about albums that are in my collection, why they are a part of my collection, and maybe give you a little bit of information about the album that you may not be aware of. Now, this next album is a band from the 90s. They're still putting out music, so it's hard to say that, but from 1993 was their debut album. And I had a chance 2 years ago, when concerts were still happening, to see them at Hershey along with my wife. I saw them along with Live, who of course is, for those of you from the Lancaster area, a more local band from York. And the headliner was Counting Crows. Now, I have been a fan of Counting Crows for a very long time, but in particular, I'm a fan of this album. The album that I want to review is their debut album, August and Everything After. So this album I picked up a few years ago, just off of Amazon, I think, and I loved this album. This album is probably my favorite album. It's one of my favorite debut albums. There's not a bad song on this album, in my opinion. It's chill, and you have a rainy day to put this on. It's kind of melancholy, and I just love the feel, the look, and the way the album jives together, if I may say so. So this album, when it came out in 1993, was produced by T-Bone Burnett, who's produced a lot of albums that I really like. It featured such singles as Mr. Jones, which reached number 5 in the Billboard charts, and also one of my favorites is Round Here. Now, one of the things you'll note in Round Here, if you ever see them in concert, they constantly change the lyrics. And it's kind of one of their, I don't want to say mantras, but one of their signature things they do in a concert setting. So if you ever see them in concert, they'll change the lyrics to it. Not majorly, but just small, and they add to it. Adam Duritz, who is the front man of the band, is a great storyteller. It's one of the things I liked about his concerts. I think he came out in an X-Men t-shirt and jeans. He was just telling stories, and he weaves them into the songs. I love the entire band. It's kind of a folky band, but again, they're a rock band. And so one of the things I like about August and Everything After is that it features the lyrics to August and Everything After on the cover, a song they didn't release till almost 10 years later. They opted not to put it on the album, despite it being written out on this album. This album, as I mentioned, features such awesome songs as Round Here, Omaha, Mr. Jones, Perfect Blue Buildings. Like song after song after song is just good. And so I don't own any of their other vinyl, but this vinyl I had to own. Now this vinyl, I'll pull it out of the sleeve here. This vinyl is a gatefold vinyl, so when you open it up, you actually see a picture of the band. Right there it is, which I'll give you a close-up of, and you'll see the lyrics to all this song. Sometimes lyrics are printed on the inside notes. This is not a colored vinyl. It is a double vinyl, but not a colored vinyl. But an album that I'm very happy to have part of my collection, and I definitely pull it out. And today, this is the album that I'm spinning. So, do you like Counting Crows? What do you think of this album? Do you like any of the other albums? Are there any other albums you think I should pick up? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you so much for listening to Behind My Vinyl.